All right. And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another Friday night hangout. Yes, it is. This is number six. With me, I don't know if you want me to say the name I saw in your email or just call you D.
Uh,
I'll just call you D for now. Hello, D.
Okay. Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm like, it's Saturday now, so I just finished eating like breakfast.
Um, this is another interesting thing about this particular Friday night hangout because the guest that's on today has a 12-hour difference in time. So it's 9 p.m. currently where I'm at, but it's 9 a.m. currently where she's at. I forgot exactly the country. Oh, you're from Singapore.
Singapore. Yeah.
Singapore. Very interesting. So, um, it's interesting that you were able to locate me. Is it because I'm assuming like within YouTube, based on different countries, you're gonna have content only related to that country. So you see a lot of like Singaporean YouTubers. Is that how it works, or maybe it's different?
Um, I think it's the same for like everyone, but for me, I just like YouTube search like body odor vlogs, and then your channel came out first. Cause
Oh,
like in Singapore, I don't think there's really anyone who suffers from this, so none of like the Singapore stuff comes out.
interesting. Now, I guess the next question I was going to ask you was, is there like any type of, do you ever had any meetups or know of anybody else in Singapore that might have something similar to you?
Oh, like only one person, like on Reddit, but she told me like she doesn't work and so she just stays home all the time now. It's like she's resigned her fate to just like staying at home. But like I can't really accept that kind of life, so yeah. But she doesn't want to meet up either, so
Oh, okay. So you actually work or your career, what do you do for a
oh
living?
I just graduated in May and I have to start finding a job soon. But like with this condition is a bit like I've like gotten quite stressed about that. But I did travel a bit like before this.
Oh, where'd you go?
Japan and Korea.
Oh, that's very interesting. Japan and South Korea. It must have been very expensive. I would assume the trip to Japan was very expensive.
Um, I guess so, but yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, did you enjoy yourself in both of those countries?
Like in Japan, no, cause I think my company was bad, and so like because of that, like the person I traveled with gave me like a lot of stress, and I think that triggered my odor even more, and so I think I had like quite a lot of reactions there. But then in Korea, I tried to like calm myself down and like read some Stop Anxiety Now book. So I was able to be like a bit more calm and
Mm.
like push through the day, even though I had some reactions. Yeah.
Ah, very interesting. So you mentioned something about a company. So you were on a trip from a company. A company gave you some type of. Was it like a business trip
Oh,
or was
oh,
it?
oh no, as in company, as in the person I was traveling with, like my cousin. Yeah.
Oh, so it was like some type of family trip.
No, just me and my cousin. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, what did you like about Japan versus Korea and vice versa?
Oh no, like okay, I think cause this Japan trip was quite a bad experience cause of her. I think like my impression of it wasn't that good. Like in Japan, I felt like I was on panic mode a lot
Mm,
cause of like the smell like kept flaring up. So I don't think I did as much as I wanted to. But
mm-hmm,
if anything, I would say the tea. I like to drink tea.
mm-hmm.
And in Korea, I like Korean pop, like K-pop. So yeah, I just like went to see all the K-pop related stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Um, I would assume like it would be really bad to just travel, especially. Well, I don't know if you have, because this is like my first like actual conversation with you. So I'm not sure if you have confirmed T-Mal or you just believe you
Oh,
have T-Mal or you think it's something else or at this moment, what have you ever tried to test yourself for T-Mal?
oh yeah, like um I actually like had this condition since like 12, like puberty, but
Mhm.
I started getting like really bothered by it last year. So I started to like dig into like what on earth I have. At first I thought it was hormones. So like I insisted on getting like hormonal checks and stuff. But then like my stuff came back normal. Only my DHEAS was high, which is like some kind of androgen. But the doctor said like it wasn't high enough to like how to say like specify any sort of problem. And then I also tried going on some low choline diet because I really don't know what I have. So I assume maybe TMAO, but it didn't work. And like I think it made my odor worse because I ended up eating a lot of carbs.
Mm.
And and then I got like quite depressed. And so my parents they finally agreed to like let me get metabolic testing. And so I did get like genetic testing, and what came back was some what's that? CAH. It's some like hormonal like some metabolic sorry, let me Google the full name. It's um
While you're
it's like
Googling this, I want to say,
uh-huh.
welcome anybody who is watching. This is a Friday night hangout. If you want to be a part of this hangout, I will post a link in the chat where you can click on the link and be a part of it as well. Um, and since she is still looking for that link,
Oh,
what else was gonna say? Yeah, man, I definitely agree that traveling is sort of hectic in a way, very stressful, especially if you do it
yeah,
by yourself. I remember there was this one time where I tried to, well, I rarely traveled outside of the United States. So, but recently, maybe 2 years ago, I traveled to another state and I thought I was going to have a good time, but I didn't because first off, I didn't know what I should eat while I was traveling. Because
yeah.
at least for me, food worsens the odor, but I'm not absolutely sure what type of food worsens the odor. So that's like one thing. I was only eating like what like apples and oranges for like 4 to 5 days, but nonetheless, it would still give reactions. So I think I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. I don't know if you can relate to that.
Oh, like I totally can. And at one point, like I tried to like restrict myself from eating a lot of food, but I feel like now I've sort of um found a more sustainable diet because the low choline diet is really like not sustainable, man. I'm on a more like ketoish diet, but not really because I do eat some carbs, but I try to avoid gluten, like red meat, processed foods, and like sugary foods. So I eat more healthy food if like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I stopped doing the choline thing a long time ago. Maybe, well, it's not long, but just a couple of years ago, because there was no evidence that I actually had T-Mal. And I think a lot of people who naturally believe they have T-Mal, but they have never tested themselves. And if they tested themselves, it came back negative. There's something entirely different. There's probably could be hundreds of just undiagnosed illnesses that can make you smell bad. But since we only know of T-Mal, everybody just assumes that they have T-Mal. So
yeah.
that's like one of the major issues I've noticed within the past couple of years. Um,
I actually think oh sorry.
no, go ahead.
I actually think like hormones like probably messed up our I don't know like somewhere in the body because I know a lot of other people like on your YouTube also got it at like puberty.
Hmm.
And like for my condition, it's called congenital adrenal hyperplasia, and like it causes like more androgens. And if you have like higher androgens, you're like more prone to body odor. So I'm not sure whether it's like really just that. that's causing this. But yeah.
Um, well, if you have a link, maybe I can look it up and
Okay.
maybe show it to the audience. So
Okay.
you have more androgen within your system, which could possibly cause you to smell worse. Um, yeah,
Mm,
maybe, or maybe I misread. Well, I actually haven't even looked into the article or whatever you were looking at.
oh yeah, I just pasted it. But like it's not, it's like just it showed up in my genetic test, but I'll have to do a proper like test at the hospital next week to confirm it. So yeah, it doesn't really like confirm the diagnosis. It just shows that I have some like what's that like the like my genes just show something missing for like this condition, like some defective gene.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, because I'm also trying to, um, I'm also trying to do some type of gene, not therapy, some type of gene analysis. Uh, One testing my FMO3 gene just confirm I don't have T-mel type 1, and the second one to do like some exome sequencing. Is that what you pretty much did, an exome
Oh yeah, I
sequencing?
did that. Yeah, I think so. I think I
Yeah,
did. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's
then I hope like your genetic test will like reveal something though. Cause I feel like for our like older condition, it definitely can't be like it definitely comes from somewhere, like some sort of like metabolic thing. So I think your test should reveal something for sure.
yeah. Just recently, I was communicating with the nurses, and they were basically giving me the estimate of how much it would cost to do it. I don't know how much your test to do the exome
Oh yeah,
sequencing costed.
expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's fairly expensive, but I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to spend all that money. It's only, well, technically it's $1,500 with my insurance.
Oh,
If
oh
I didn't
mine's
have,
like one. Yeah, same around the same.
yeah, if well, technically it's with my insurance it's actually $4,241, but if I do it without insurance, I get a significant discount, which totals out to $1,500, which is weird. So you would think with insurance, I would have a better
Cheaper.
price. But let me add this
Yeah.
person's stream. Hello, Shah. How is everything? If you can hear me, maybe they're setting stuff up. But in any case, back to you. Um, Yeah, like because Japan for me, I think Japan is like one of the places I definitely wanted to go. Not South Korea does seem interesting as well too. I don't know how I'm assuming South Korea is closer to Singapore than Japan, right?
Like 1 hour closer. But like something I found like really I don't know like bad. Okay, not bad, but like for Japan, right? Like they really can't tolerate bad smells or like any smells. So like wherever you go there, like you don't even smell perfume. Like they they don't like to put perfume. Yeah,
That's
like that's how sensitive they are. But in Korea, like at least like you know like some areas smell like kimchi and like perfume. So
mhm.
at least like there are like more smells, so you don't feel as bad about it.
That's interesting. So Japanese people don't wear cologne or perfume at all, at least from where
Oh
you were going
no,
to.
oh yeah, they don't like they don't like it. They don't
That's
like strong scents. So yeah, I felt like quite self-conscious there.
huh. I guess that's more of a warning for me not to go to Japan.
No, but like I don't know if you really want to and like you feel like you can push through even with the reactions, then I feel like you should go. But it's like super crowded. So It's really, really crowded.
Oh, so did you go to like Tokyo or something like that?
Yeah, I went to Tokyo.
Yeah.
So yeah, very crowded. Unless you don't mind visiting like the countryside and stuff, then it should be fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely know Tokyo. At least seen some videos on Tokyo. It's extremely populated. It's like well, I don't know
Um,
the exact population, but it's obviously one of the biggest cities within Japan. So it's sort of like going to well, I've been to New York. I don't know if Tokyo and Japan is comparable in terms of population, but I know I went to New York some time ago, and that it's really not as fun. I don't really like crowded places like that,
yeah,
even
same.
if even if I don't have an odor condition. I'm trying to figure out a way to show this article you sent me about congenital adrenal hyperplasia, but I don't think I have the ability to do it anymore. I used to have the ability to show other things on my screen, but I don't think I can do that anymore. Maybe they took that feature out. Um, let's see here. While I'm still looking, fiddling with the options. So you said this happened to you at the age of 12. So can you remember your
Yeah.
first memory when people were like reacting to you?
Actually, like my first memory of it was like I smelled myself. I think I've always been able to smell myself. Like the first time I caught a whiff of it was like maybe at the end of 11. And so like I asked my friend like, oh shit, like do I smell weird? And then she said, yeah, a bit like a garbage truck. And like it was like the first thing in the morning though, like when we first went to school. So I was just like, oh no, like why do I smell like that? And then like later on, like when I entered like middle school, I feel like it got more frequent because that's when like my puberty like really started to happen. But it was also like more intermittent. I wouldn't get it every day, but in high school, it was like really, really bad. Like, yeah, like every day. And then, like, even like right after a shower, like, I would smell myself and then like, I'll get reactions. So I felt like, oh my God, like showering like doesn't really help. Like it's not like hygiene, it's like something for my body. Yeah.
Mm, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's hormone related. Well, I th- hmm, I have I do think it is hormones. There's something that's related to hormones, which is the reason why I went to an endocrinologist because they're supposed to be knowledgeable about hormones. But I don't know if like the hormones in itself just triggers it or like it was always present, but once you go through puberty, it triggers or increases something. I don't know, sets off something,
Oh yeah.
and now it's at a point where it's extremely noticeable. Maybe it was like dormant at a certain point, but once these hormonal changes or different things has happened into your body, maybe it just set something off that now made it more present uh, or noticeable compared to when you didn't go through puberty. I'm not sure. I think I'm sharing the screen right now
Yeah,
to
you
the
are.
article. What is non-classical congenital adrenal hyperplasia? Non-classical adrenal hyperplasia can lead to the production of excess male hormones. It is usually a mild condition, often doesn't lead to be treated. Non-classical congenital adrenal hyperplasia is an inherited disease that affects the adrenal glands that is present at birth. The adrenal glands are small kidney-shaped glands that sit on top of your kidneys. Kidney-shaped glands that sit on your kidneys. They produce hormones like cortisol in response to injury, aldosterone, which regulates salt and water levels, and androgens, including male sex hormones. If you're born with non-classical congenital adrenal hyperplasia, your body doesn't make enough of a certain enzyme called 21 hydroxylase, which affects most of the hormones your body makes, often not enough cortisol and too much androgen. So, what are the symptoms? Extra face or body hair, acne, period problems, infertility, higher risk of pregnancy loss. Wow. Ovulatory infertility, early beard growth in boys, small testicles, Early puberty, early and fast growth, but short stature, oily skin, body. Okay, body odor. I
But
see.
body odor is like the last one. So it's like not even common for like those who have this. Yeah,
Very
that's the
interesting.
thing.
Oh, Shaw wanted to jump in again. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm not sure, uh, but it looks. It's. Oh, maybe I should post it if anybody wants to see this. Um, read it themselves. I'm gonna post it in the comments so anybody can take a look at the article. And not only that, I will post a link to the Hangout if anybody wants to join. I have now shared the link and you can hop on if you want to. Let me see if Shah has can hear me or she has her mic
Muted.
working. Can you hear us? Is your
Yes, I can hear you.
Shah?
I
Oh, okay, Shah. I thought that was going to be a woman speaking. How's it going, Shah?
Good. How are you? How good? How are you guys?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a Friday night. It's about the 3 day weekend for me, so I'm pumped for that. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I just came on because I've been watching your channel for a couple of years, and I'm also friends with the person in the chat in this chat too. Oh, so can I tell my story a little bit?
Sure.
Okay,
yes.
so I'm experiencing body odor too. Mine started at the end of my senior year. I'm now about to turn 24, so 17 it started. I'm about to turn 24 in September, and I was working a summer job, and then the person I was working with kept making remarks, and then I heard her say it one time, and then I was like, "What's going on?" So I was starting college. I was in denial, and then when I went to college, it was just so bad, I couldn't stay on campus. I had to come home, but thank God I like COVID and stuff. I was able to just graduate recently this month. So,
Mm,
but yeah, I don't know what's caused mine because mine started at 17 years old. I've done the TMA urine test twice. It came back negative twice. I had some genetic testing done. Um, and that was sent to Baylor University.
mm,
So I don't know if you guys want. It was free through my insurance. I was gonna test in the FMO3 gene, but it was super expensive, and I was a college student, so I couldn't really afford it. So yeah, and the weird thing about mine is in the beginning it was like they had like fecal. It was like a fecal. I heard that once, but then it started to subside. But there's periods of time where I get no reactions or no like nothing. Like there's
right.
periods of times where I'm good, and then it will come right back.
Oh yeah, same.
And it was like I'll span like this not this summer now, but last summer I was good for like 3 or 4 months, but then I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I couldn't eat the way I was eating. So I was eating like a lot of like macaroni and cheese, ice cream because I was in so much pain, and it came
Mm,
back. So like I don't
mm.
know if it's a diet thing. Like I just really don't know. I've been just like every single doctor, so that's why I'm on here.
Is yours like a fecal odor or like other smells?
No, no, mine that was once, but like I heard that one time. But otherwise, it's people just say it's like funk. My reactions aren't bad at
Um,
all. It's just I have them though, so it's like they're not like terrible, but they're there.
yeah, okay,
Mm.
same. Mine is like some sweaty perspiration odor, but I don't need to be like sweating to have it. And then I have like a lot of other smells also. So
Yeah,
it's like,
mine
yeah.
mine is like when I work out a lot, so when I sweat, that's when I experience it. And one thing is when I would go to the bathroom, I would experience it too.
Hmm.
Like my hand would like smell like it. It's super weird
Your hand smells when you
when I go
take a
to the
number
bathroom.
one or two.
Till number two.
That's extremely. I have never heard that before. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like every other thing that you were saying. I completely identify, or at least relate to. I don't know about the my odor subsiding. I can't really smell it like that, but
Yeah, I can't. I've never been able to really experience mine, but I've been out and about with people. Like I've been around the same people, so
hmm
like there'll be times where it's nothing, and then
hmm
there will be a lot of interaction, and then there will be times where there is, and then like they'll go away. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right,
yeah, that's how I judge it.
But how
man.
do they react to you though? Like the sniffles and coughs, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Or like
Yeah,
hold their
same.
nose. That's mainly what it is.
So,
Yeah, that is very strange. But at least you were able to, at a younger age, be able to do a urine test and stuff like that. And you said you tried to take a gene test because you got it. You had it for insurance. You had it
Yeah,
covered
so
insurance.
I went to a geneticist and she did some testing um that was sent to Baylor University, and she
hmm
got blood from me and my mom. So like I don't know exactly what was being tested, but it was like a for I guess it was like anything related to this, and it could tell me exactly like if I have any genetic like she does, like where it came from, like if it came from my mom, or if it did, it would, like if she passed down the gene or my father did.
Yeah, that's so funny that you're saying that because that's technically what I'm trying to do. Well, what I'm doing right now is called exome sequencing, where it's supposed to test 22,000 genes. So, but within the process of the exome sequence, they were asking me if it would be okay if I asked for my mother to be a part of the test or my father. Um, but it's weird that they didn't really tell you, or when you spoke to the geneticists, did they like give you a paper back or anything like that, or did they say, oh, these are the genes we tested? We tested this gene, this gene, this gene, and you could see it.
So I had they didn't. I I'm looking at it now. I think it is a whole exome sequencing because I'm looking at it now. I had to sign like a contract and stuff, so
hmm
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Wow, and they didn't find anything. Damn.
No, I didn't get the. I'm getting the results back in August.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm trying to do that right now. I had to actually pay 1,500 out of pocket. Like that's the least expensive option to do. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think that would be worth it.
Let me see. Uh, Let me try to invite this person because she wants to get into chat as well. So if anybody wants to get in chat, I'm about to post the
And
link right now.
and
But
I'm not sure. I don't think it's choline related because when I took my last urine test, I took if you look up Douglas Labs choline bicarbonate, I loaded up so much on that for my exam, my TMA test, and I had like no. I was out and about. Uh, I didn't really have any reactions, or my urine didn't smell different, like nothing. So I don't know if it's choline. I don't think it's choline related.
yeah, I again, like I was mentioning with D, I think a lot of people naturally just assume that they have T mal because that's like the more well-known rare condition that's related to body odor, but there's probably hundreds or a good number of undiagnosed body odor illnesses. So yeah,
Yes.
we just think to ourselves, oh well, it has to be choline. Let me start depriving myself of choline. No, it could be something entirely different. There's still some people who say that no matter what they do in terms of diet, it's like they still smell. So it's like a hodgepodge of a lot of people who have these weird conditions and they're not getting assistance from medical professionals and
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty much what's happening at this moment, and we all trying to figure out what's going on with us. um
Yeah.
but But let me ask you, like when you said you were 17, um, did you notice any weird symptoms in the earlier stages where you start to realize people are making comments about you smelling bad
Um,
physically?
no, I just always sweat. I don't know what it's called, but I would sweat so much to the point,
Hyperhidrosis.
like literally, if I was outside and I'll walk outside and start sweating. If I ran, it would look like I just jumped in a pool. So that was like the only thing, but I didn't really have no symptoms, any symptoms. That's why it was so weird. Uh,
Let me ask you, D, do you have do you have like do you sweat more than others? Have you ever noticed that, or is
Nah,
that
I
not?
don't think so. No.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Because
But I feel
that
like I have like oily skin. I actually like did some treatment to reduce the oil on my face because of my like acne. I had like excess oil and acne. So I just feel like very oily. Like even my scalp. Yeah, I have that.
yeah, I think that was one of the symptoms to the hyperplasia stuff. Oily
Yeah.
skin. Um, yeah, I only have oily skin on my face. I think my face produces oily skin, but I don't know if it's excessive. I don't know. I never had acne before. I have pimples every now and then, but not nothing too severe. Um, but currently with you, you just feel like it's not an odor that's extremely unusual, like smelling of fish or smelling of garbage or smelling of feces. Oh, wait,
no,
you said you did say that you had a comment. One of your friends said you smell like garbage, but overall, you're saying currently it's like you feel like it's uh, just regular body odor, but always present
Wait for me or
for you, D.
oh my god, no, like the smell is very weird. Like the smells change a lot.
Hmm.
And I sometimes I get that perspiration odor, but it won't be like, you have to like go so near me to smell it. It will like permeate the air. So like the entire room will just like smell like sweat. And I get why people sniff because they're trying to find out where the smell is from, but it just feels like it's super near you, although you're not near me. I don't know how to like describe it, but and then sometimes I get some like sour smell and like at one point in time I smelled like cat like urine,
Hmm.
and then I smelled like food and then chicken. Like I just really smell like a lot of different things. And yeah.
Mm.
And like cause I can detect it myself, so it's so like it kind of like drives me crazy. Like my nose can't take it. So at one point in time, I actually like started like holding my breath, like involuntarily. Yeah.
So you can smell it all the time.
Yeah, like yeah.
Wow, I cannot smell it at all.
not
And I
me
don't.
either. I'm the
I
same
don't know
way.
whether that's good or not, like to be able to smell it all the time. Cause I
I think
can
that would
even
drive
tell
me
when
crazy.
yeah, I can even tell when it's like coming on. Like from the intensity, I can like sense it. Like like when the smell is not there, but I can like sense it like emanating from my back. My smell is like mainly from my back. So yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good. That's a very interesting idea. Not idea, but what's the word I want to say? Interesting question. If you could, for people who can't smell it, would you want to smell it? And for people who can smell it, would you want to stop smelling it? I think I would probably want to smell it because there've been many times where I'm like, I don't know if I do smell, so I just walk in someplace or go
Yeah.
into some event and I feel good. I don't think I ate anything bad, but then I get a lot of reactions and I'm like, what the fuck? That's so weird. At least I would know
Yeah, yeah.
beforehand, okay, I smell like shit. Let me like keep a distance. Let me go in the back, something like that. I can maneuver a little bit better around social settings. Um,
Exactly.
but I don't know. A lot of very interesting things people said here, and both of you are in your 20s. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and to add to that too, like going to doctors, I feel like if like me and you, if we could like identify, because they always ask like, what does it smell like, you know? So
Right.
like if we could identify, it would make it more believable. Because sometimes I feel like after that question, I don't know if it happens to you, but in the beginning, they would be like, "Oh, it's just all in your head." Like
Yeah,
when
my
you
God, they
really
tell me that
couldn't like
too.
pinpoint like exactly, oh, you could be like, "I don't know," but other people are reacting. They could be like, "It's all in your head," you know.
Yeah.
But like, but that was only in the beginning. But I felt like if we could experience it, that could like alleviate like a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that it's a couple of things that I think about when you say that. One, I do think they say that because even if they do smell you, they probably do not have the knowledge to really properly diagnose it. And
Exactly.
two, if they can't smell it, it's the idea sounds so far fetched that they're just going to assume that it might be some you're going through some type of psychosis. That sounds more reasonable than to say, "Oh, this guy smells like a burning tire one day, and then smells like
Yeah,
cat piss the next day." Like that sounds so
it sounds
unrealistic.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me add
Mm.
her in here. Hello, Carrie.
Hello,
Um,
can you hear me?
yes, I can.
Oh, are
How
you
was
like got Carrie Wilson from the Facebook?
I am. I am. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, how was your week?
Oh, pretty good.
Hmm.
That's been reading the posts and things like that, trying to see what you guys up to.
Oh, nothing. Just talking about stuff. Uh, yeah, just learning about because this is the first time talking to Sha and Dee, for so hearing their backstories and certain symptoms they have
Yeah.
is quite interesting. It makes you ponder a lot on what could be the possibility for all of us if we do share a common link, um, but maybe we don't. We have just different conditions, but slight similarities.
That's
I'm
what I
entirely
think.
sure.
I do think that maybe we all of us have different conditions, but the odor is the link between all of it.
Exactly.
The different odors. Because I'm telling you, I have smelled like bleach before.
Oh,
Bleach.
I've
Mm,
never experienced that.
Wait, what
Um,
was that? You smell
like I work out a lot. I
So
know
do I.
some people are
Oh,
kind of scared of working out with the gym and stuff, but once you make it over that milestone, because at some point your body you're gonna clean out all those toxins, or however
oh,
sweating is helping our body odor levels go down. Once you make
oh
it over
yeah,
that
I get what
line,
you mean.
yeah, you're gonna be okay as long as you're not eating trigger foods too. Um, it really is possible to lower the body odor, the foulness. The odor's
mhm.
always there though. The odor's always there on the surface. But you'll at least be able to walk into a room and not fill up the room with your body odor.
Right.
I do 12-hour shifts inside of people's homes. I have a good 6 hours where I'm not gonna like the odor's just gonna be settled. But as soon as I do number one or number two, which I try never to do number two in anybody's house. Um, but the body is human, and we have to get the waste out of our body anyway.
Yeah.
So my odor can be settled. It's there, but it's settled. As soon as I
Mm.
do number one and number two, it's triggered. Even if I've been eating good, and if I've been eating good, I might smell musty after I do it. It's still not gonna be just like this overbearing odor.
Hmm.
But as soon as I eat something, food has always been a problem, I think, for all of us. And I think because we know we can't die, you can be addicted to food, you could just like food. Because with everything that I've been through, why would I eat pizza? Why would I eat
Yeah,
food
same.
you know what I'm saying? Why would I eat food that's
Yeah.
gonna trigger me? I
Hmm.
ate out of depression for years. I'm almost 50, so I feel like now I'm doing better with food choices and exercising and solutions. I'm doing better in my life today than I have in the last, 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The problem with me is I work out like close to 12 hours a week. I
Yeah,
play
that's good.
soccer.
That's good.
So I still eat bad sometimes. I still have my cheat meals, Chick-fil-A or like pizza. But
Why? Why?
that's the problem. I might need to cut those out.
But I'm saying though, you know they're gonna make you smell, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking. My daughter thinks that I use my depression as a scapegoat. Because yeah, sometimes I eat Chick-fil-A because I want Chick-fil-A, but other times it's like I don't know. It's like my body feeds for sugar. It's like weird. It's like I'll get all this shit out of me, feel good. I'm not hot. I'm not stuffy anymore. But then my body will feed for sugar, feed for pizza, marinara sauce. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I used to get that when I was like on the low choline diet. I would end up like craving so much carbs,
yeah,
and I just like,
yeah,
overloaded on it.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
low choline diet was affecting my school because like it was making me
right.
super tired and like my memory
Yeah.
was like I see like it was getting
Yeah,
foggy.
yeah,
So I was like,
yeah.
there's no way and then I can continue this.
When I first collected food to the older, I would be beasting it at the gym. I would be at the gym all the time, eating turkey. I would eat turkey sandwiches and bananas. Those were my meals. I wound up in the hospital underweight, anemic, just had all types of problems. So
Yeah.
that was a bad idea. So
Yeah.
I learned that even trying to restrict my diet, I still have to eat certain foods for protein, for nutrients. So
But for me, oh yeah, sorry. I feel like diet doesn't really like affect my odor. Like,
Yeah,
since
me
I can
too.
smell myself, yeah, like I can be like, I mean, I've been on this healthy-ish diet for like maybe 5 months. And yeah, what I like learned from it is that like diet doesn't really make a difference.
no, but
Like I
it
can,
really, what do you eat? When you say eat healthy, if you eat spinach is healthy, broccoli is healthy. Green vegetables are poison for our body because it gives
oh
strict
yeah,
it gives strict to the odor. Now I will put kale and spinach in smoothies, but I won't just
mhm,
eat it right out. And then I know when I eat my green vegetables, I already know that my odor finna heighten up. But like I said, I'm not finna go into the hospital because I'm not getting proteins in my body because I do live such a strict diet. It's a way of you have to figure it out. You have to figure out a way to eat those foods that you
um,
are not supposed to, the healthy ones. You don't need fast food. Fast food and pizza and all that stuff, you gonna smell like a dead rat. You know, certain foods for real.
oh,
Certain foods produce
oh
certain
yeah, okay.
odors. You know,
No, yeah,
right?
like I get what you mean, but like I cut out like the unhealthy processed food, but I still have this base odor. Like so, I feel like other than food, there's
Do
like
you
a
sweat? Do
missing
you
puzzle.
exercise? Do you exercise at
Yeah, I
all?
exercise a lot. Yeah,
Do you do
as
do you
in,
do the sauna? Do you do the hot sauna or the steam room?
oh, yeah, I did at one point in time, but not anymore. I'm lazy.
I just don't think that I felt the magic pill for myself. What I'm doing is organic. When I first started working out, I had no idea that it was gonna cut my odor down. It just did, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking that I'm curious somehow, but it was that sweaty. It was just sweaty.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
It's organic. It's scientific. It's not nothing nobody. People been doing this for years,
okay.
so it will work for you. It's gonna bring the odor down. You'll still have the odor, but
Oh no,
trust
but
me, you will like to smell musty rather than like a bag of garbage. You know?
I mean, I do feel like yes, sweating does help, but it's different for everybody. Cause I mean, for me, like personally, sometimes when I sweat, I smell like less smelly than when I just like like when I'm not sweating. Like sometimes my odor when I sweat is not as bad as like other days when I'm not sweating. Yeah, sometimes I
Mm.
can like not be sweating and I stink worse than after I sweat. It's like
True,
weird.
true,
So
true. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, I would say that, like, at least with my condition, sweating was a revelation I had in college where I noticed it on days where I stopped exercising, I get worse reactions.
That's right.
So that definitely holds true to me as well. But
Yeah.
again, there's so many other people who have these weird conditions, maybe metabolic, where sweating doesn't do anything, or diet doesn't
I
do anything as
almost
well.
feel like you have. I almost feel like some people would have to Camille, her name is Camille. She did a great piece back in the day in the early 2000s, and she showed what was in her refrigerator. And I remember when they was interviewing her, they was like, "That's all you eat," but they were all kind of like protein things. But these were the things she had to eat that wouldn't set her off. It's almost like you have to literally change your diet and what you eat for some people. Like if you're saying exercising is not helping it, steam room, but yet you're still eating foods that are healthy, you may have to like kind of break your food down to the bare necessities, you know,
Oh no.
to survive. But also, I could be doing good and I'll have a piece of pizza. We call it a cheat day or whatever. But
Hmm.
is it worth it though?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it is.
yeah,
I think the cheat days are worth it. There
Hell
should
yeah,
be like 20,
hell
80
yeah. I
days.
just
Yeah.
posed the question, but I think it's worth it too.
yeah. And to like, I know I'm kind of switching the subject too, but I also think a lot of people's odor is worse because of anxiety and depression,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and because I feel like
Yeah,
anxiety exacerbates that, like exacerbates like what people are going through.
yeah,
So like my recommendation for that is again exercising. That's the best. But
yeah.
also like
Medication.
I
Yeah,
know that we have these groups and stuff like that. But like like put a time limit on the amount of time that you're looking at these groups and doing research, because right now there's no like concrete answer. So you're literally like, you know what I mean? Like you're going in a circle, kind of. You're like,
Yeah.
what about this? What about this?
yeah.
And
I did it
uncertainty
for 20
always
years.
causes anxiety. So
I did it for 20 years, and right now today, I'm on antidepressants, and I didn't start out life as depressed, but now I have chemical depression. If I don't take pills, I'm in despair because because people talked about me, because doctors said there was no odor, and today I'm depressed behind it on medication. So
yeah,
yeah, so right now, today I'm trying to take care of my mental health as best as possible, and part of that is not searching for a cure for me. I feel like if a cure is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I felt a great treatment option for me that I use, and I'm able to work. I want to maybe start going out this summer and just live. I don't want to go the next decades of my life chasing a cure, in and out of drug stores. I got cancer. How do I know taking all these different supplements that people was like, oh, this work and this work? I did that for 20 years.
exactly.
So I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah,
I don't push probiotics because I don't want to tell people to put things in their bloodstream. But I personally do like probiotics, but I'll eat probiotics rather than take a pill. I'll just find foods that are natural probiotics because I do think gut health is definitely tied to whatever is going on with us.
yeah. And another thing I wanted to add, like, I know that we all have goals and dreams, and like it feels like this condition is like stagnates us, like puts us in like stops us, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But always
Yeah.
believe
And
like, go ahead, you can speak.
that I also feel like this condition makes us like dependent. Like I can't feel like independent with this. If I go out alone, I'll feel like I need somebody there to make me feel more secure.
yeah,
Right.
I don't know
yeah,
whether you get what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
and
Like
like
I don't want all the attention to myself.
yeah,
So if I'm in a group, I'll definitely feel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
and yeah,
definitely.
and
I
like
did
one
want to
thing I
just
oh go ahead.
Yeah, I did want to just add on to what you were saying, Shah. How you said that your emotions or your stress is a thing that worsen or exacerbates the odor. As I do recall watching some type of video that was talking about how the stress hormone, if you have a certain stress hormone, it exacerbates odor not only within your breath, but just body odor in general. And I
Yeah,
just came across this article about how stress plays a part in the skin odor, because there's like some type of skin gas that might emanate off of you, and
Yeah.
based on the intensity of your stress, it's going to
Yeah.
change that gas or that odor. So I'm going to definitely put that in the chat so people can take a look at it themselves and read it if they're interested. Um, so yeah, there is some science behind that. That's basically what I was trying to say. Um, Also, since I also wanted to say this too. This is Friday Night Hangout. If anybody wants to hang out, I'm going to also copy this link and post it in the chat if anybody else wants to hop on. But
And
try. Oh,
oh,
go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, I was going to say continue with what you were saying.
Oh, and I wanted to I want to keep reiterating it. I know it's hard. Like I graduated college. That's like one step closer to my goal. I want us everybody to know, like just think of this condition like a video game. There's beginner, advanced, and then like legendary or like veteran. Say that we're I understand we're living life like on a veteran difficulty. Like
Huh.
we're living life like we have all these on a way harder scale than other people,
Right.
but
Yeah.
always try to cater and put things into place to where you can accomplish your goals. And don't be worried of like using supports and stuff like that. The worst feeling is not being able to accomplish your goal. And this is something we can't control. So I just want everybody to I want to, if there was a way I could see a chat, I want everybody to write down their goals and aspirations and and that they can accomplish it and how they want to, because I don't want this to stop people from going and accomplishing what
Now
they're
I tried
capable of.
back when I went to school and things like that. My professor would be the one saying stuff, and I reported her to the dean, and the
That's
dean didn't
Oh,
believe
ridiculous.
wow.
the dean didn't believe me. He went on her side, but they allowed me to take my classes in the office, but I would have to take tests, with the students. I wound up dropping out of school because it was just mentally I was going through a lot too. But if I could do it over, I would have tried to get the school to work with me to let me Zoom into class and stuff like that, but come to school to take tests. I regret that because I wanted to be an RN, and I'm like almost 50 now, so I'm not gonna go back to school now. I can't even really concentrate good enough to psychologically. I just feel like I'm kind of damaged in that way. But yeah, I definitely let my dreams go, and so that's why when I'm on the boards now, I am writing so hard for the youngsters, especially the youngsters, because if they were, there's so much more information for them. They don't have to go through all that mental damage that I went through. I feel like because there's a lot of help. Um, um, these Friday night YouTube viewers, so they don't have to give up like I did. I feel like. So you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, there's way more information out there than it was 20 or 30 years ago. It- it- I find that before the internet, how hard or difficult it would be to deal with this, because now you're not going to really be that connected. The only time I've actually started figuring out that this might be a condition that other people had was because of the internet, was
Yeah.
because I start constantly looking stuff up,
Yeah.
and then I found like some type of forum that showed, where I heard or read, articles or group forums where they're saying, "Oh yeah, I had this same similar conditions," and I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
this is a thing."
Yeah.
And it was like mind blowing to me.
But wasn't
Uh,
how did that help you though? Didn't that help you though? Wasn't you like wow? It had to be like when I found that book, The Human Body Odor. That was my YouTube. I took that book everywhere with me. I even tried to steal the book out the library.
wow,
But that's
yeah, I
right.
mean, yeah. I mean, I guess the experience was because I was lonely at the time, and I'm still like,
Exactly.
I was in college and I was dealing with it. I'm like, I don't understand what is this? Why is this happening?
Right.
So it made me feel like I was not alone, and
Yeah.
made me feel like,
Yeah.
okay, there's a possibility that I
Yeah.
can fix this.
Yeah.
Uh, but
That's
15 years later, still haven't fixed it yet. But at least I do feel that with many, because there's a lot of things I did within that forum. Like I scoured through many different posts and tried to find some of the posts that talked about being cured or treated, grab that information, put it on a website, and then start like assessing what are the key things that everybody says
That's right.
that helps them. And
That's
pretty
right.
much it was like diet
That's right.
and avoiding this thing and avoiding that thing, taking these types of whatever products or whatever. Like
Now,
I was really
remember,
obsessed with it.
I didn't have none of that. All I had was just the book. And I know
Yeah.
you with another caller, y'all said y'all doing testing thing. Y'all really should get that book, the Human Body Odor. It's by 2 Japanese dermatologists. And they wrote that book in 1992. It's about referrals and hyperhidrosis and other conditions, though. So I felt like when I had the book back then, I felt like the doctors, if I gave it to them, they could look at the book and kind of figure out what was wrong with me.
Right.
So those in that book, there were patients that they didn't smell, but they knew that there were other testing methods, and they even broke down how some people smell this and some people didn't. I'm actually about to re-get the book. I'm in the order to try to get that book again. I think it'll be very helpful to the scientists just trying to figure out what's going on with us even further.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
And like people like you, be it EOS, like you don't understand how many people you've helped just by like you making your content,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you don't understand, like you were like one of the first YouTubers that you and the Gut were, but like I resonated more with you because like you show the day to day, like, and you explain. So like I know there's a lot more people like you make it a lot easier for people going through this because like you show the raw like day to day, like, and like it's just like you can like relate.
The Gut guy, what happened to him? I've been looking for him.
I guess he's like cured, so he doesn't need to, you know.
Well, I do know that he was saying that he was cured, and I followed him. I went out of that kefir. I talked to my doctor, and it did work in the beginning. For some reason, a lot of stuff that we do, it will suppress the odor, and you thinking like, "Oh, got no odor, it's gone," and then a month or two later, it's back. So the Gut
Oh no, yeah.
he was going hard, and so I'm just wondering, and did he realize like, oh yeah, it's
Right.
still here.
Yeah, I mean, there could be so many theories to that. I do believe that it could be a happy ending where he found the miracle pill, which was just fermented milk, and now he lives somewhere a normal life,
Oh no.
or like it
I think he
worked
would
for
tell us. I
months.
think he would tell us.
It worked for months, and then it just came back, and now he doesn't know what to do.
And I did
So
it all.
now,
I did the kefir. I did the kombucha. I did it all.
yeah,
But because of him, it guided me to probiotics, fermented food. So I'm very thankful to him.
yeah. I definitely knew. I knew about probiotics, and I had like some positive experiences with probiotics. I never thought about doing fermented food, and I still do fermented food. I just don't use like
definitely.
I just don't drink kefir or whatever.
Kefir. I do
I just
kombucha. I like kombucha over kefir.
Yeah, I like kombucha too over kefir.
Yeah.
I just don't like spending the money. Like I'm
I know,
young,
right?
so I'm young right now. So
But
I
think about it. We are like I spent $15 at McDonald's before, and I mean like I could buy a bottle of kombucha for $8.
Yeah, you're right.
For real, right? You'll buy that pizza.
yeah. I mean, I don't actually, but I don't do the. So you're buying kombucha from the store, or you
Yeah,
just
you know how like if I buy kombucha like if I'm like the way I used to buy pop. Like I need something to drink, I would buy I buy kombucha. Because I do think that it helps. I think probiotics, this is just me personally. Of course it's not stopping the odor. But I do think combined with all the stuff that I do, it helps. You know what chlorine, what's the name of it, y'all? The charcoal.
activated
That
charcoal,
stuff when I
chlorophyll.
took that stuff, Dr. Preddy gave that to me. back in the day. I took
Mhm.
them pills for like 2-3 months. I smelled horrible, horrible.
Huh?
Never touched it again. I would never touch it again. All it
Really?
did,
The
it
activated
just
charcoal.
mixed with your body odor. It made another odor.
Wait, sorry, you're talking about what? Charcoal?
Yeah,
Activated charcoal.
Oh, but I think like activated charcoal, like, it's not recommended to take it every
yeah.
day though,
Long
because
term.
yeah.
That stuff, it smelled horrible. It's just like some people wear perfume that have body odors. If I wear perfume, I'm gonna make people head hurt. And my head hurt if I wear perfume.
Mm. Yeah,
Like there is no covering it up with perfume.
that's true.
It
I don't
just makes
know.
it look.
I think everybody has their own experience. Activated charcoal for me, I did notice a reduction in the odor, and at least the activated charcoal I use, I don't use a specific brand. I just use any other type of brand. All the brands I have used, they don't really have a strong smell at all. The whole
Okay.
purpose of activated charcoal is to trap toxins. Activated charcoal was used sometimes is used, or one of its main benefits to use of its use was to like trap, if you were ever poisoned or something like that, like food
Okay.
poison is supposed to trap those toxins, so uh, it could prevent uh, possible death. And with the activated charcoal using for I guess TMAO, it's supposed to track this excess buildup of whatever that's happening in your body that's not being
Right.
broken down.
Right.
So I don't know. I have positive experiences. Everybody has different experiences with the kombucha thing. There was another person I interviewed, and he was like, within 2019, it was Gut War Josh, and it was Salvador who was like adamant about kombucha. And he said that he drank strong fermented kombucha, and that helped him. And I've heard other people say that kombucha really helps too. So you can actually make your own kombucha. You don't have to actually buy it.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you do the homemade one, you can ferment it longer, and it'll probably have positive effects. But I will say it's gonna start tasting like just straight up vinegar. To be honest with you,
Oh no,
and
but yeah,
okay.
I brew my own one at home, and like I use like green tea or black tea with fruits. It doesn't taste like vinegar at all. It's like really nice.
Yeah, kombucha tastes good. I
Really does.
I actually fermented it for like
Yeah.
really long time, like a month, 3 weeks, and I've noticed it has like a more sour taste the more you ferment it.
Yeah.
But look, this is what I'm saying though, y'all. If I took probiotics and watch what I eat, I do not think without sweating, without I don't even call it exercising because now when I exercise, I'm literally just trying to make my body sweat to get that exhausted feeling where I'm smelling my deodorant, where my nose is running. That's when I know I reached over. And then I do the sauna. If without doing that, everything else that I'm doing wouldn't work for me though.
Hmm.
So and I've been talking about sweating for 10 years. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Even if you don't like to exercise, I have like a portable steam sauna that I brought. I'll put on a sweatsuit and sit in there for like 40 minutes, and I'm just sweating and sweating and sweating, and that'll get me through a work shift. I mean, I'm actually at work right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
and I didn't feel like working out today. I just sat in my sauna for about 40 minutes. I'm comfortable. I don't feel hot. I don't feel stuffy. I'm not overthrowing this person's apartment. But my diet has also been on point too.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean that's
man, my levels were high when I got diagnosed. The woman said your levels were real high, so I should be smelling like feces right now.
hmm yeah, I mean like that's another thing. I don't know. You're talking about saunas. There are portable saunas. I tried one like that. I don't know if you're talking about portable sauna or you're just talking about
Wait a
going
minute, you
to a
talking about the
gym.
steam room? Are you talking about the one because you got the portable steamer, water where it's wet mist, and then you got dry hot sauna. One is made of like a material that feel like clothes, and the other one is straight up wood.
Yeah. It's so funny. I actually tried an actual sauna. I went to Vegas last year,
Okay.
and within the hotel, they had the steam sauna and the dry sauna,
Uh,
and I went to
uh
both of them for 20 minutes just like
I
to
know
feel
that's
it
right.
out. And bruh, it was suffocating. I hated both of them. I hated both of them. With the steam sauna, I was suffocated with all the
You
mist.
got to take your earphones with some music and just kind of mellow out and sit in there and just sweat and just sweat. It's like meditation for me. Oh no.
Oh, really? And that's so you just are you doing this by like a gym membership, or where are you
No,
getting
no, I
it?
have my own portable home sauna, Steve. I have the wood sauna in my room, my bedroom. I brought it. It was like $1,600. Um,
Oh shit.
let me tell you something. Dr. Prady told me 20 years ago, this is a high maintenance condition. He ain't never lied.
Hmm.
Cause I brought that sauna. I just went into Whole Food and spent $150 on 2 bags of groceries with no sugar, no soy, no lactin. So yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It's not hard. And I'm almost 50. That's why I can afford this shit now. Now I know people who younger can't just be out here doing that, but it's worth the investment.
Let me ask you real quick because I haven't really been reading the comments like I should have. But Blue True One wants to know what brand is the sauna that you bought.
Um. Okay. Let me see. Let me look it up. He,
And while
uh,
people are looking, or while Carrie's looking it up, I also wanted to say this about probiotics because now I'm reading the comments some more. I don't think we ever talked about seed probiotics, or maybe
what's
there
that?
was someone I have never heard of that. Someone mentioned anyone tried seed probiotic. I have never heard of. Maybe that's the
I,
name of the
I
probiotic.
do a line. I tried a line and Nature's Bounty.
Yeah, I did like culturel. I'm pretty sure.
I did a
Hmm.
few different ones, but I stick with Nature's Bounty.
Steve
But
probiotic.
a line is pretty good too, though.
Yeah, I've tried a lot of probiotics. I wanted to mention when the discussion was about probiotics. Um, You can also ferment vegetables, or that's like the common thing I do. I just ferment vegetables. There's about like first you have to have some glass jars
Uh huh.
that can be air sealed tight, and that probably costs like $30 to get like four big glass jars, and then all you need is like filtered water and 2 tablespoons of salt. And then just put in whatever vegetables you want. And I put that on salad. I don't know if it's going to be as effective if it has as much probiotics as kefir or kombucha, but
Kimchi.
I use it.
Kimchi. What about kimchi?
Kimchi is pretty much the same thing, but I think they add more spices into it. But yeah, pretty much.
Like
Yeah,
when I eat kimchi, I definitely have to. I have to run on the treadmill and do the sauna because that kimchi ain't no joke.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I,
gonna set you. It's gonna set you off.
yeah, because they kimchi adds like lots of like onions and Man, I tried kimchi once. I
Right,
even
right,
took,
right. There you go with the onions and all that.
yeah,
But it's healthy for you.
it
Have you
definitely is.
guys do any of you guys do juicing? I heard that helps.
Juicing.
Yeah, like you get a juicer and then you like
Oh,
drink.
uh, I do like cucumber, lemon, and
Yeah,
kombucha.
yeah.
That
But
helps to
I
wake
do
me up.
smoothies. I do mine in smoothies. I'll put kale and broccoli into my smoothie. That way I'll get my green vegetables.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah,
like with like sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
I feel like with supplements, right? I've been like taking so many. At one point in time, I took like 8 or 9, and then I went to like a naturopath, and she told me like you should just like cut down. I don't think like those are making a difference. Even like L-glutamine and stuff, which is like good for your gut. Yeah, so like I removed them, and I feel like even with probiotics, I took some really um what do you call it, like strong ones, and it just made me like really gassy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard like symptoms of taking probiotics will make you gassy. I think there's a reason for it. I can't explain it. at this moment, but there is supposed to be a reason for it, why you become more gassy when having more probiotics. And I think it's somewhat connected to even with fiber. When you have more fiber in your system, you become
Oh yeah,
gassy. I think
yeah.
that proliferates the bacteria within your gut. And there's something about the bacteria within your gut and flatulence, but I would have to research that because I can't go into detail
Oh,
about
I
that.
actually did a gut test, and it showed that like my E. coli or whatever like bacteria you call it is much higher than like the average populations. But then the gut health, like the person didn't even like provide recommendations on like
I,
what to do.
yeah,
And like that, yeah.
I had a gut test too, and like I showed her all the stuff. My E. coli was very high and stuff. But the thing is, like, 50% of Americans have like bad bacteria, more bad bacteria than good bacteria.
Hmm.
Right.
So I don't think it's a bacteria issue. I just think that
Oh
like
yeah,
all of us have something very specific that's going on
that's true.
that's causing it. And I don't know. I'm trying to like think. Like I don't know if it's genetic.
Whatever,
Like
whatever is
endocrine-
connected to that.
huh?
Yeah, I think it's connected to some like defective gene or whatever
Right, right.
you.
It's connected to whatever's causing the odor. Is connected to the reason why we pass gas, because it seems like we all have that in common. Like it's like
But
we
like
already have a body odor, and air would pass the gas.
may I ask? Like I
Yeah.
talked to Dee before. I remember she said that her sister had like something
Yeah,
similar. But do
yeah.
like you or BLS, do any of your family members or anybody you know like suffer at all? Because mine don't.
No, mine don't.
That's the thing. And like the late onset is making me really like not think it's genetic. Like
But no,
because I hear
my sister said she thinks she has it because she said when her period comes on, she smells bad. She's only when her period come on. And my daughter came to me one time and was saying, "Ma, I think I got it." And I'm like, but really, my daughter was just going through some natural hormonal stuff. But it terrified me, like, oh my God, you got it. But yeah, but my sister thinks she has it because she was like, she get reactions every time her period comes on.
Let me ask you something, Shah. I'm going to ask you a random question.
yeah.
Uh, are you of Caribbean descent?
No, I'm African American though.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Um. Yeah. Because I do notice a couple of people, a number of people that have interviewed were Caribbean descent. And I thought that was interesting. I'm always trying to find a connection. Um, but okay, you're just African American. You have no like parents, grandparents connected to islands.
No.
Okay.
It's mainly Africa and then some Hispanic. So
Hmm. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, just because I can't think of parents or grandparents who have it doesn't mean there was somewhere in my lineage where my great grandmother might have had it, but since I don't know her,
yeah.
like I don't know. So who knows? I don't know. It's just something that's not correct, direct, a direct descendant, I guess.
But look, I just think my life has just been amazing. I have a body odor that's a medical condition. I mean,
Hmm.
just unfucking believable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. I wouldn't have guessed
Yeah.
that it exists. I wouldn't have guessed it. Like I mean, at the age of 15, I wouldn't even. No one knows about this. Like
And look,
it's
my next door neighbor, um, she ordered my book. And so she told me she ordered it, and then like 2 months passed, and I was just looking for her, like I wanted to get a review from her. So I finally run into her one day, and as I'm walking up on her, her eyes are big, and I'm like, "What?" And she was like, "I don't even know what to say to you." I'm like, "Yeah, that's how I feel every day of my life." And she was just like, "I was sad, I was mad, I was crying," And she was like, why did, it's like, after she read my book, she asked me, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? Like, girl, don't you think I tried to do everything?
Yeah.
But she was like, she had never heard of it. And she was like, have you tried? Her first thing was to try to tell me what types of soap I could use. I
Oh
said,
my God.
I'm past that point.
Yeah.
That triggers me so much when you go to the doctor and they're like, well, have you tried this soap? Dial soap? Have you tried
Yeah.
that is, you know, like that's one thing that gets me so mad
Yep.
because
Yep.
literally, like I think like 2 or 3 months ago, I had to wait a week that this doctor was like, oh, I'm gonna review all your files, right? And then I'm gonna refer you to a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm waiting. He's like a week, and I gave him 2 weeks, and then we get on a virtual meeting again. Oh, have you tried dial soap? Have
Mm.
you tried
Oh,
the
that's so
teach
like,
men
yeah.
fashion soap? I was about to go crazy. Like I was pissed, but I was like, let me compose myself because like I just wasted like all that time.
Well, I had a doctor who actually extracted some of the meat from under my tissue and ran tests on it and said that he was going to take my sweat glands from under both of my arms. I was so happy because I thought that was an ear to odor. Told me to come to the office Monday morning. I get to the office, they like the doctor not in today. I'm like, but he said he was gonna do. I'm thinking he finna do a surgery on me. Another doctor comes out and takes me into a room and scolds the hell out of me. Told me I need to get a bar down soap and get on with my life. No doctor is gonna take your sweat glands out in this clinic.
Jesus.
Oh
That's
wait, why? So they didn't remove your sweat glands?
No, but he told me they would. But I think, he thought that I was local. So I didn't know that he was just kind of placating me to get my ass out the office that day because there was no reason for him to tell me, come back Monday, I'm going to do the surgery. And then when I get there, send out another doctor to tell me to get on with my life, get a bar down soap because nobody's going to do that.
Oh, the
So,
doctor, so
man, I felt
sucks.
horrible. I left
The
that. I
doctor
left that. I
sucks.
left that in shambles.
Yeah. Yeah, like nowadays, I just always fax over tons of information to
That's right.
doctors.
That's
So
right.
they have all this information about that they
That's
have to
right.
read beforehand before they even getting to me.
That's
Because
right.
if you just go and just say, "Oh, I have this body odor condition," they're just going to grab for the basic things that they know about body odor, which is,
Yep. Yep.
wear soap. I mean, not wear soap,
We're teaching
use
we're
soap.
teaching the medical field. We're literally teaching the medical field.
yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing that I realized too, like when I started going to these doctors in the beginning, I was just saying, oh, it's a medical condition, this is what's going on. But then I'm like, let me step back and change my approach. And like I always say that doctors are people too. So
Hmm.
when you like inflict an emotion on them, they seem to believe you more. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of
Oh yeah,
always
yeah.
go in and say
Carrie?
like I tell them about my college experience. I tell them about like how like it like my family stuff and like
Hmm.
stuff like that. And then it seems like you get that emotion and then they believe you more. But like if you just go in saying it's this, it's that, like they think you're crazy.
And then for some reason it took me years to realize that I kept going into different doctors' offices telling them that the doctor before them said there was no odor.
Oh yeah,
But
you never
I didn't know
never
that I
do
shouldn't
that.
do that. I didn't know that I shouldn't do that because if I lie, how could they help me?
Right. Yeah, I don't. I guess I never really try to appeal to doctors with like emotions and stuff, even though I think that is a good strategy. I try to go in there with like knowledge beforehand and talk
Yep,
about like some type of
yep,
science or
yep,
Yeah, I do
diseases
that.
and stuff like that.
yep.
Uh, Tell them that also use like some type of, I don't know if this is like a persuasive technique, but one way I'll say when I go to many doctors, none of them help me. So, and I mean when I say that, I think that will make the doctor try to put
Right.
more
That's right.
effort into it.
That's right.
It's like a little trick to do. Um, And that's actually what I did for the last doctor, which was a dermatologist, even though I don't think dermatologists will really help me. But she seemed like she wanted to do something. She's willing to put tests, and she recommended me to go to a neurologist for some reason. Um, she
Wow.
actually, I don't know if any. This is the thing I want to ask.
I went to a neurologist.
Oh, you have? That's
So they
interesting.
really
But
just
but
want.
why? What would a neurologist have to do with it?
Oh, because like a lot of guys and girls, uh, they develop smells where they smell things that aren't existent.
Hmm.
So it's very common. So they just refer you there, and then they test like your smell and like all that stuff. Like
Ah,
so
that's
they make sure
interesting.
like your brain isn't misfiring. So that could
Well,
Hmm.
be
I could go with that if it wasn't a plethora of other people on the planet saying the same thing. You know,
Hmm.
you can't say that I'm crazy when I'm showing you a YouTube of 50 people saying the same damn thing. Now, what I'm
Right.
asking you to do as a doctor, use your resources to see what you can do to help me.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like mental health is very prevalent. So if you go to a doctor and stuff, there's a lot more people that have O or S than people that don't, that say that they like experience smells and stuff.
Hmm.
So most people that experience smells do have ORS. So that's why they like refer you to neurologists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
The-
don't there
I,
have to be other things? You know, they ask you questions and put you through the ringer. And then, so if the only thing you're saying wrong, I have an odor. Everything else you answered right. I answered all your questions. Who are you? Where are you? What color is it? What color are you? Whatever the question may be. But when I come to that one question, why are you here? I
Because
have an
if the
odor coming from my body. They
because if
think that right there, you're wrong.
yeah, but if when the brain misfires, your brain can make you believe anything, honestly.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why some people believe like crazy things, because when the brain's misfiring, it can make you believe anything.
Just
So
that
you
whole.
believe you can believe that we can be that a middle person can have all can be sane on all these other levels, but in that one level, not so much.
Oh, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I just know, like, especially during puberty and stuff, a lot of people smell a lot of smells that aren't existent on them.
But I'm saying they were legally able to diagnose me as delusional. They were legally able to give me antipsychotics, and they was wrong like a motherfucker.
Wow. This discussion is very interesting because you're touching on so many different things. From what Carrie just recently said about antipsychotics, I actually have experience going into the mental hospital and they're putting me on
What?
antipsychotics because
What?
they believe that I was in some type of psychosis. And it turns out they examined my brain, did some type of was it a CAT scan? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it came back normal,
Did
but
you take the medicine?
I had to.
Oh
I
man.
was in the mental hospital for
No. What
You
you
know
do?
what's
5 days.
so
Let me tell
weird?
you what I did. This is what I did because they weren't gonna let me out of there. So when the nurse stand in front of you, she give you the pill. I was terrified. So I put the pill in my mouth. I put the cup up to my mouth. And as the water came into the cup, I flipped the pill back into the cup.
Mm.
And she said, open your mouth. I opened my mouth, and that was it because I was not going to take that medicine because I knew they were wrong.
And what's so weird, like listening to you guys, is so interesting because they never said I had that,
Hmm.
They
like
never said you had what?
psychosis and nothing like that.
What did
They
they say?
mainly just want to give me anxiety medication for my anxiety, which helped. I was so anxious, so like I had to take some that helped. But they never really said that I was in a state like that. And the doctors, they believed me and stuff.
I
They would
was
just
depressed
jokingly
too, though.
tell me, "Oh, if you get a reaction, just tell people you were working out,"
Oh,
because like they know I place. But I never like was forced no medicine. And most doctors I go to don't want to put me on medicine. Like even when I tell them I'm anxious, they're like, "Just work out, just
but
do
no,
self
I
stuff."
will admit, though, when I went into the psych wards, I was depressed and suicidal. So it wasn't like I wasn't there needing mental help, but I was there because I smelt bad and society was verbally abusing my ass. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then I guess they said they can't smell the odor, so she's psychosis and all that stupid stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I had a really, like, I was going through hell with this condition. Like,
Yep,
I had to, I
yep,
experienced stuff at home,
yep,
like denial. Like, I was going through hell, but I
yep.
never even thought of no suicide. Like, I just always think that things will get better. So, like, I never liked that. So I guess I never expressed any like worry to any doctor because I'm not like that. So they never like
That fascinates me. I know other
they never really
sufferers.
like want to put me on medicine.
Yeah, I know other sufferers who went to college, and my girl, she might have cried every once in a while, but I was devastated by the condition. I was just in the psych ward. I was ready to kill myself, but she did have a lot of family support. So I'm wondering, is that is that the difference? Because I never could understand why it
Trust
was.
me, I had none
You
really.
had none.
No, no.
Yes.
I'm telling you, when I mean I went through a lot to be where I went through.
Yeah,
I had some, but oh my God, you don't want to know some of the stuff I had to go through.
for real. Yeah, I know it's horrible.
It was hard,
Mental,
especially in an African American
mental
family.
horror.
It's horrible because they don't. It's a lot of denial, when it comes
Right,
to stuff
my
like
father
this.
told me I was chasing a ghost. These doctors have been to school for years and they had degrees. And you try to tell them how to do their
I've heard
job.
that.
That that
Yep.
that that tore me apart because my father was the one. Literally, my father is the reason why I felt my condition, and I took 7 years and I wouldn't give up because of the way he raised me. But here he is telling me, "Get a job. Some people just smell the way they smell. You're not going to
Yeah.
beat these doctors." And I just had to put him out of my mind for 7 years. Like, Dad, you go stand over there.
Trust me, I went through that too.
Then you go stand over there.
But this
Yeah.
does make you strong. That's one. It's the only positive is that it makes you strong.
Oh yeah.
But
I
enough
Mhm.
is
feel
enough.
like I feel like it does make you strong, like, but after a while, like, since you're trying to like suppress your, I don't know, your feelings, after a while you become like really vulnerable. Like you can't just stay strong all the time. Like, after a while.
Right.
Right. I started out strong. I was still getting dressed and doing my thing and trying and working. It slowly chipped away at me. Slowly chipped away at me. And for the first time in my life, 1997, I was suicidal. I never felt that in my life before, and I didn't know
Yeah,
what was going on.
same.
But I was strong at first. But it did, But that's why I'm telling y'all, we have to help these youngsters. They don't have to go down that road of suicide and depression. There's
Hmm.
no cure right now. But use the treatment options. Put that food down. Put the food down.
Right.
Until you can get better control of your owner, put that food down. Like I seen a girl on the blog the other day. She eating a chocolate donut. I'm like,
Dang.
girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think the best thing that could have
Chocolate.
happened to all of us was COVID.
Oh Lord, COVID was
Oh,
one.
I think
COVID.
COVID
Oh,
was a
no.
blessing to all of
It
us
sure was. It
because
sure
now
was.
now a lot of people are prioritizing their mental
Oh,
health
work
over
from home.
jobs.
Yep,
So now a lot of employers are like, okay, you can work from home now.
yep.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, so
Uber Eats became my best friend. Now they got Uber for home health. Now they have Uber for home health care. I go on the app every day and I look at what clients need help. That helps me because on days when my owner might act up, maybe I don't have to go to work this day. Or maybe I ate some pizza or something. Yeah, COVID changed the game for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and we have to all take advantage of that.
Yep,
Like, do
yep,
not sit and sulk.
yep. I did it for 20 years. For 20 years, I went to work and stuff off and on, in and out of hospitals. And today I'm just a different woman, but I'm old. I lost my youth. I lost my youth to this shit. No more.
Mm.
No more. No
Yes.
more. No more.
That's my fear. Like, I'm 23, turning 24. Like, I'm still
Ooh,
young.
you in the prime, baby. You better do it.
That's what I'm
You should
saying.
be
That's
working
what.
out anyway.
Yeah, that's why I just wanna.
You should be working out anyway.
Yeah, that's why I just wanna like figure something out so I can at least by
You can do it.
25, I want to
I'm
at
telling
least
you.
like have half of my 20s.
Figure
That's the
out
goal.
those trigger foods. Work
I
out
think
work out normally. Get you a portable home sauna so that you can just sit in that bitch whenever you want to. It's gonna reduce that odor. It is gonna reduce it.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't know about that,
Or
but like
get a
for
recumbent
It
me,
bike.
is though. Don't say you don't know about that
Got a
because it
recumbent
is.
bike.
It's
Oh,
natural.
that bike looks cool.
That's natural. Working out is natural. That's not the doctor ain't.
yeah,
Your body is
I
gonna
actually
naturally
try.
detox.
I actually try to work out every day though, but like for me, I think I gradually got depressed because I thought that since mine is like hormonal, it should go away right by like the age of like 22 or 23. So when I had it like really bad in high school, I just like hung on and I thought like, okay, I should not have it anymore by 22, but it's still around and then it's like strong.
Right.
So it
Get
feels
you.
like there's no
You don't like
cure.
to work
So I
out.
feel
Get you a portable home steamer and a sweatsuit and sit in that.
I
Anyway,
don't
just
have
make the
space. I hope, but yeah, I can go downstairs and like do it.
any way
Yeah.
to make the body sweat. That's what you need. Any way to make the body
Yeah.
sweat. One day y'all gonna be like, I
Well,
remember that girl always said sweat. Cause it's gonna be tied to us living a better quality of life. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
live a better quality of life with a body odor. Literally.
yeah, I do
Like if
also.
I go to a party and my odor's down, then I pee or something. Now I know I probably got a good 2 hours left before my odor kind of makes his way out. I'ma have
Hmm.
fun to get the hell up out of there. For
I
real
do
though.
want to add this about exercising. Even though I do agree that you should, if get a portable sauna, there is a large amount of information that suggests that exercising decreases depression or anxiety,
Hell
and it
yeah.
doesn't have to be anything in terms of intensive like
Yeah,
running or weightlifting.
yeah.
It could just be doing long walks. I remember when I was in college, when I had bad days, I would just do long walks, and I feel a lot better after a long walk. So
But
it doesn't have to be
but for
anything too
us,
intensive.
for
Um,
us though, I understand that. I agree
I'm
with you
just talking about the
100%.
psychological benefits, not actually the physiological benefits of
But
sweating.
do you agree that if you're so used to your body odor now, and just say you do what I'm telling you, exercise, get it down, sweat it down. Do you think that mentally, psychologically, if you're able to smell someone standing across the street's perfume, the man smoking a cigarette, these are things that you're not really used to because your odor's always in front of you. If you can make that breakthrough mentally, you are always want that. You are when I eat a piece of pizza, I ain't worried about it because I know I'm finna beast out at the gym tomorrow. I'm finna sit in my sauna and get that odor right back down.
Hmm.
But some people,
Okay. By
some
the
people
way,
just exercise on a regular basis anyway.
Yeah, I exercise almost every day, at least from according to from what I was hearing about D is like in terms of diet or even exercising, it doesn't really play a factor that much into her condition. I think hers is completely different than actually T Mal. Didn't you already
yeah,
test for T Mal, D?
yeah. In a genetic test, it came back negative, so
Hmm.
no difference.
Ye-
By the way, sorry, I have to go.
Oh yeah, take care.
All right. Oh,
Okay,
Thank
you
thanks
have a
so
you,
good
much,
thank
night.
guys.
you, thank
Now,
Yeah,
yeah.
you,
thank you.
Good luck, guys. Bye
Good
thank
bye.
night.
you.
And I don't think mine is T-Mal either. Honestly,
Right.
I got tested twice and it came back negative twice.
But look, so y'all think that because it's like T-Mal, exercising and basically you detoxing your body, regardless to what you have, what's causing the odor. I just think detoxing the body is natural and has been around for centuries. People
Yeah,
been getting in steam rooms and saunas for decades, cleaning toxins out of their body. It just so happens to tap into whatever's causing our body odor.
yeah, yeah. And I think the detoxing does help. Like I go to the doctor, everything is good. My skin is glowy. Like it helps with that.
Who you telling?
But like
Flawless.
the
Skin
problem
is
is like the
flawless.
odor. Like that's the main thing that like we want to like
Resolve.
resolve. Like doing all
Hmm.
that is nice, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm doing all this and I can't even enjoy the benefits that come with it. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like, damn,
Do
like I
that.
don't want to do it, but that's where you got to be disciplined.
That's why you have to be disciplined. And there are 70-year-old sufferers. And I'm like, shit, I could be 70 and still have this. So at least just try to live a life, a better quality of life. I don't want to sit in that house for the next 20, 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I definitely feel that. And that's another reason why I try to make it a goal to do stuff. I mean, shit, Juneteenth is about to happen. I'm probably going to at least go outside and do something. Um, but I did wanted to say this one thing. There was something you said, Shad, that I forgot, but people started talking. I forgot uh, what I was gonna ask. Um, oh wow, can't really think about it. Um,
but
uh,
look, I want to talk about relationships for a minute. Now, I haven't been in a relationship about 20 years, and I argue with my family. They say it's bad choice. And I'm like, no, it's not bad choice. Went out with guys, woo, this and that. But I do have a friend. I'm too old to have a booty call. But
okay.
I'm seriously, I'm too old to have a booty call. But I've been knowing this guy since third grade. He knows about the condition. I let him read documentaries on it and things like that. So whenever I see him, I will actually work out twice that day and send my son a little extra longer. I don't wear perfume. I don't wear
Mhm.
scented anything. But I'll spray perfume on my chair, and when he walks in, he be like, "Oh, we got the perfume today." So
Hmm.
I don't allow him to say that I'm not comfortable with that because I've been alone for so long
Right.
that I just like the privacy of my of being alone. I'm comfortable that way. But it has been very difficult for me as far as dating.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I agree with that. Like getting girls, like for me personally, has not been like the problem is like you're saying. It's like when you have to go hang out with them
yeah,
and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
getting a girl's number or
yeah,
like they look at you in public and stuff like that. But it's just like the fear like they come close to you or
Hmm.
like the hanging out, that's what cuts everything off.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like, oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, man, I've been trying to go on a date for years. And it's weird because sometimes I think I spoke about this in the last one too. Like, if something goes well, because there's a lot to talk about in terms of dating. One is like the way you are engaging with the other person. Are you engaging with them through social media or like these dating apps, or are you engaging with them through like I don't know, maybe you're within the same vicinity every day. You're working a coworker or I don't know, someone that you see almost every day, and then maybe you have like friendly conversations, which might turn into something. For me, since I like work at home, I don't really have the ability to just like communicate with someone every day and stuff like that. So I have to use dating apps, and I think the landscape with that is very difficult. Just to like get a woman, just to get a woman to communicate back and forth with you, because you got to match with them, and then try to find some common ground, and then maybe go out to eat or whatever.
Yeah.
That process
I don't
takes
think
some
that you would
time
have a
because
hard time
ultimately,
because you sound like an intelligent. Not only do you have an intelligent voice, but you're very knowledgeable. You're a nice looking guy. So I don't think it would be hard for you to find a girl who would stay there to see what is he about.
Yeah.
Well, what's there?
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Well, well, I do want to say this in terms of the landscape of dating apps. Again, like I think a lot of people, more men go on dating apps than women, basically. So the ratio of men versus women on dating apps, whether it be Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, whatever, it's always overwhelmingly men. So you
Yeah.
only get like a handpick full of women, and that creates issues. You're not going to really be able. I would think the average woman would probably get hundreds of matches, whereas the average dude gets a couple. So that's one of the issues. And also, once you get at a certain age, I think
mm,
the primary years where you connect with people is through school or through
Yep.
work. But
Yep.
since I'm
Right.
like
That's
completely
right.
divorced of that, I don't really.
Yep.
The only way I can do it is through the internet. So that's one of the
Yeah.
common issues.
How
But
has how has that worked out for you though?
yeah, that's what I was saying. I never got a date in years.
Yeah, I don't
Go
honestly
ahead.
those apps I don't think are good really. And also I don't think like the best quality is on those apps.
Right.
Uh for like Zoom, like you said, school and stuff like that. When Zoom and stuff, I was having a good success with that. But then I like the meeting up, like I met up with a couple girls and stuff like that. Met up.
Mhm.
It didn't seem like they didn't really get the reactions. I didn't really get reactions like that. Like my reactions aren't terrible, but it's still going on. But it's
Mhm.
just me, you know? Like I think you would experience the same thing. Like you'll go out with a girl or like you meet up with a girl and it's like you're pulling yourself back because you like keep thinking the fear of it happening.
Yep. That's
The
right.
fear of it happening. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, self-sabotage. Yeah, I think
That's
sometimes
what it is.
if I do get someone that I match with, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe this is going well. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I have to eventually meet her. So then I just
Mm-hmm.
stop responding, and then like that eventually just fades away. But yeah, like it's also that component of, oh man, what if she does? I really like this person, and what if they do get a whiff of me and then I don't know, they get embarrassed and then they say you notice they make up an excuse, oh I gotta go and feed my dead dog or some shit like that, and then you start feeling, oh man, she made that excuse up because I smell bad or what, like you have all these visions or just imaginations of what might happen, and that deters you from actually doing anything. So yeah, it's all psychological. It's all psychological.
It is.
Um, like going back to, I used to watch this, not watch, but I saw this uh, GARD, Genetic and Rare Diseases Information Center, and it has like a listing of TMAO, and basically all the symptoms are like just psychological issues, which has to do with anxiety, depression, paranoia, anger, and stuff like that. Like that's one of the biggest symptoms out of all of it. Like it's not
Yeah.
like if you have diabetes or something like that. If you continue to have this, you'll eventually die or worsen your condition. No, it's all everything that comes with this affliction is psychological issues.
Yep.
Yeah. And another thing that I think has helped me a lot, like during this time I've had time, really. So like now I was able to like hone in on my appearance really. Like
Hmm.
fix like work out. Like I've always been in good shape, but like I fixed my posture, honed in on my appearance. So like it's been a lot easier for me. Like if I go out, like I get looks and stuff, like it makes you feel good. But then like the self-sabotaging happens, and then like it's just like you can't take it another step further. You know what I mean? So like that's like the worst part. And then
But
another thing is like due to my appearance, a lot of like when I was getting reactions, the good thing that helped me was people didn't think it was me.
Right.
You know
that's
what
right.
I mean? Because like people would look at me and not expect it to be me, but then when
Mhm.
they were around me, you would see how they switch. Like if they weren't around me and stuff, like it would be fine. But when they're around me, they switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard something like that. Like, I think one of the hangouts where someone was mentioning that, I think it was a girl who was mentioning that she smelled bad, but they wouldn't believe it was her because, you know, most people don't assume a young, pretty woman is going to smell so terrible.
Yeah.
So they
Yes.
think it's something else. It was like, oh, it might be this homeless guy or whatever. So I think that's exactly what's happening with you. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I just have to look because everybody assumes it's me. Um, so I don't know. I wish I had that type of luck or whatever,
And
but
I'm
it is
telling
what it
you,
is.
there'll be times where like girls would come close to me, like come up to me and stuff, and then like retract because like the smell, like
Hmm.
But then there will be times like when I was in college, I met this girl through Zoom. We were like lab partners and stuff. And then I met her because I had to take in-person exams. So I met her. She gave me a hug. She asked me if I want to ride with her and stuff like that. And like no reaction. So like it's just weird how it's like person by person.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm very interested to hear to read that the human body or that Carrie mentioned within this hangout, because I always had my theory as to why some people can detect certain odors and others can't, and I just honestly just think it has to do with uh, how they can pick up certain odorants more than others. Just like how some
Yes.
people have better sight than others, some
Hmm.
people have a better sense of sound. I think some people have the ability to pick up chemicals within their noses better. So
Yeah,
I don't know if that
that's
is true.
a question
Uh,
for you. You'll get the answers from that book, Jermaine. It's a good book.
yeah,
Oh, and my
it's
book too. You
$54,
pick
but
up my
I'll
book.
eventually look into it.
You guys pick up my book while you're at it. The Foul
Oh
Body Odor
yeah.
almost killed me.
Well, yeah, where are
Mm,
you guys from? I know you're from Florida, right?
yep.
I'm from New York.
Oh, Chateau.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you're from Chicago. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm from New York.
Yeah, remember, Jermaine, I told you when the doctor threatened to take me to court, as soon as they let me out the site where I got the hell up out of Chicago, I went to New Orleans.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Little did I know it would be 6 years of trying to find out what was wrong with me. But I'm finally back home.
Oh, we got somebody else to join. Nice.
Well, what was the name of the book again?
The human body,
No, your book.
the foul body odor that killed me.
The foul body odor. Okay, let me get that out. Oh yeah, but yeah, hey, there's another person online. Susie, how's your week? How's everything?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Have I ever talked to you before? Oh,
I came on one time. Um, I told you I'm a nurse and I do smell bad most of the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I
But
bet
what I
that
was
could be
going to
very
say,
tough.
oh, it's horrible. But what I was going to say was don't give up because when I was dating, I'm 30 now, and I never had a boyfriend up until like now. But I met somebody in January. I met him online, and I've gone on loads of dates where they think they get a smell. I don't know. Sometimes they don't initially get it, but generally whenever you're not in public and they know it's you then because you're the only person there, then they're like, oh, she's good smell. Yeah, so anyway, but this guy is great because do you know what the thing is, do you ever hear of a sulfur water well?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So some if you live out like outside the city areas, they sometimes have to drill into the ground, and depending on the type of rock that's there, if it's a shale rock, the water smells like sulfur.
Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
this guy grew up with sulfur wells the whole time, so I don't think he even noticed. He was because when I got to it, I was like, oh my god, the water in your house smells so bad and everywhere, but it's like the whole area, and I don't think they noticed. So anyway, this guy hasn't broken up with me. I have a boyfriend, so
Oh,
I
congratulations.
yes, so you shouldn't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if this is a good. It is a good story for me anyway.
No, it's a great. I'm
It's not
glad
everybody
that you
great
hear it.
story.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, so
Right, but
good.
my guy friend, even though he knows about it and everything, he swears he does not smell me, and I do not believe him.
Uh-huh.
I
It's
just don't
possible.
believe him. But yeah, he says he doesn't smell it.
That's a sticky situation because like there's genuinely people that I really genuinely believe that don't experience it. Like the way they like interact with me and stuff. Like I genuinely believe like there's some people that really don't experience it.
Yeah, and
Now the book that I was telling y'all about, the human body odor, those two dermatologists, they said they say a lot, but from what I can remember, it was like perception. you can have on some cologne, and I'm like, "Ooh, he smells so good." But then my friend could be like, "That's stank," but we're
Right.
smelling the same thing.
Mm.
But with body
Yeah.
odor, I didn't. So I don't understand. Like I smell horrible, and I had all these doctors like no odor, no odor. So I still don't understand, but I do understand the perception of odor. I can understand that part, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to say is, I know you just mentioned Shaw that you're from New York. I know Susie, you mentioned that you were in the last one. You were in New York. Are you still in New York?
I'm still in New York. Yeah, I'm down by Little Falls area. It's
Oh,
like in the middle of the state.
I have no idea where that is. I'm
Sorry.
I'm closer to New York City.
Okay, cool.
As
Yeah.
a nurse, Susie, how has it been for you?
It's been tough for a long time, but it's cool now that this guy the water. I think it's the water. That's why he hasn't noticed the smell. I think because when you turn on the taps, they make a smell.
Yeah.
And I've been in other houses around here, it's the same. So I just think they don't notice.
And I could have. Oh, sorry to cut you off, but Susie, I thought it would be very difficult because, like, I know like most nurses are women, and I thought they would be like more judgmental. Is that true, or like that's what I always thought?
It can be hard, yeah. Like I've been fired from jobs and stuff, and
Wow.
But they never
was
say that they're
big
firing you
demon.
for that. It's always another reason why they're letting
Right.
you go, which is actually
There
illegal.
was- they give it, yeah. Like there was, well, it was one. It was like, well, they find a reason because they just can't stand with you being there. Is that
I mean,
like I felt
it
like
really
they
is illegal
they
for
just
a job to fire you for that. But I never wanted to fight them if they won't be there. So
no, they would always give a reason, like, but it was like they're looking for a reason because it was like, oh, the girl's here again, which is fair
Yeah.
but
enough.
for me, when I walk into the job, and if as soon as everybody see me, they all look that like that deer in the head, like I that look destroys.
Damn. She left.
Oh, she might have disconnected, probably.
Dropped. I wanted to just add on to in terms of getting fired from a job. I don't think I ever got fired from a job at all. Uh, and it's weird to say this. That I'm going to admit this. I actually like getting fired because that means I have time to be by myself and eat whatever I want. So every time I get fired, I'm sort of like happy in a way, even though I'm adult and now I have like responsibilities and bills. I don't know. It's just weird. I feel elated. I feel like I feel like 20 pounds of weight just lifted off of me. Um, because I never really liked the place in general. I never really liked the people, but I don't know if anybody else feels the same way if they ever got fired or
It's nice
released.
not to have to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
never really I never got fired really. I fired myself really. Like I would
Quitting.
like get myself out of there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm definitely a quitter. I don't think I there now when I really look back on all the jobs I had, I don't think I even been in a job for more. There's only a few jobs where I've been past a year. Most of the jobs I never really carried for more than a year.
hmm
I
I
don't know
thought
if it. Oh, go ahead.
I think 3 years is my longest in a place. But I wouldn't when I was younger. I don't know if it got worse as I got older or as you're younger, people give you more slack. I don't know what it is.
When did yours start?
I think I started noticing it um, about 5 years ago, but I think I had it. I just didn't notice it up until because when I think about it, I was like, oh yeah, I probably did smell. I just didn't. I just thought that was how people acted, or
Hmm.
Yeah.
so I.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like it was at 15, but it could have been even earlier than that, but I don't know that. I can't recall. It was only at the age of 15 I started overhearing people say I smelled bad. So maybe it could have been like something faint, but not enough for people to make comments about it. But then, like once I was like 15, then it was like, oh, this guy smells bad, blah blah blah. So it's very strange. I understand where you're coming from.
It is. Mine started like my middle of my senior year, so I was 17, and I know that that's when it started because before, like I was never had people move away from me, like never had that. But then it was just one day where it started. I didn't want to believe it, so I just started using all these colognes and stuff like that, and then it just got worse progressively from that day, and then that's when I believe it started.
Yeah.
And mine was about a month after my daughter. I gave birth to my daughter. Her birth triggered it for me.
Oh,
It was like a month later. I woke up and I was just drenched. I had been sweating like someone threw water on me, and
Yeah.
for no reason. And from that day on, I was like, y'all. I would hear people say things. I didn't know it was me. I had absolutely no idea that it was me. And so I was like, the older it would go away and come back for the next couple of years. But around 17, it was on and popping.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I was trying not to say how young I was when I had my daughter. I was young, but
17, 15. Interesting.
yeah.
It's all seems that's all like puberty, because I know women hit puberty earlier than men,
Yeah.
and then mine was definitely during puberty because that was around my growth spurt.
Hmm.
And don't y'all experience the hot flashes too, right? The guys, y'all experienced, like when I talk about when I exercise, I don't feel stuffy. For years, like 15 years, I just felt so hot. My body temperature was just so hot and I would sweat. But once I realized that if I exercise and sweat, it would help bring the odor down, that stuffiness also went away. It's like I don't have the hot flashes like I used to.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, I don't have hot flashes,
no, I
but I
never
do
did. Yeah.
but I do feel like sweating does
yeah,
eliminate it. I feel like I recall in the earliest days that I would wake up and like drenched in sweat, like at night. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. Probably
what?
not, but like in the earlier days where you had it, at least for me, I would wake up at night drenched in sweat.
Or
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
cold sweats.
yeah.
For me, it's like
Because I
if
was
I'm
trained.
outside and it's hot, or I work out. Oh my god, I look like I told you. I look like I jumped in a pool. Like
right.
I'll be working out for 5-10 minutes. I'll be dead. I'll be sweating like crazy. But it's always been like
Which is
that since I
actually
was
that's a
young.
good thing in the exercise realm.
It's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody wants to be a sweaty guy.
No,
But
he said in the gym.
I'm telling you, I went to a private high school, right? And
mhm.
literally, it was to the point, like, because we had to wear polos. So like, I'll be like, when it was hot, I'll be so sweaty that like my underarms, you'll see like the sweat like under my
Yeah.
arms, and I had to like
Yeah.
bring deodorant with me, or I'll be musty. So
Right.
I'd like put on deodorant like 2-3 times a day just so I wouldn't smell.
I'm
And
telling
like
y'all, we
that's
are somehow connected to bronchitis and hyperhidrosis. Bronchitis is the odor. Hyperhidrosis is the sweat. People who just sweat a lot, but they don't have an odor. I'm telling you, we are connected in that family
The
somehow.
hyperhidrosis. Yeah, my
And that
auntie
book,
and
The
someone
Human
tried to
Body Odor,
diagnose me with that.
they were treating people for bronchitis and hyperhidrosis. But I bet
My
you, if scientists, once they do start actually trying to find out the origins of what's going on with us, we're in that family.
Hmm.
that might be my cousin has 3 of my cousins, the doctors said they have hyperhidrosis. And I don't know if I ever
so
oversweated.
sweaty that like my underarms, you'll see like the sweat like under
Yeah.
my arms, and I had to like Who's? Oh,
What the hell was that?
that was me
Did
talking.
somebody just copy your voice and what the? Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But
Anyways,
bring
you were
deodorant
saying.
with me, or I'll be
Oh,
musty. So I
so
like put
you
on
must.
deodorant like two,
This is
3 times a
Carrie.
day, just so I wouldn't smell.
That's weird. Okay. Well, she dropped off. What were you saying, Susie, about uh your
with
your
the hyper,
cousins?
well, I know Emer and Dara and my mammy. Well, my mom's not my cousin, but she's family, and the doctor said that they have hyperhidrosis.
Hmm.
And then I remember thinking someone mentioned it to me before. The only I don't know if I have it, like, because usually whenever I'm sweating, it's either super hot or I've been moving around a lot or something. So I'm like, I don't know if it's definitely that, but I could have something like that. But I wouldn't wake
Yeah,
up from sleeping unless the temperature was really hot. Like, I wouldn't wake up sweating
Yeah.
or anything
yeah,
like that. But
yeah. For me,
but I know there's a tablet for the hyperhidrosis, but it's not good for your circulation. So it will cause their fingertips to change color. So they didn't take the stuff.
Yeah.
and they also
But
have this thing that you could put on that stops sweating, but it's bad because you're supposed to sweat naturally, and then it also makes you sweat in weird areas.
Yeah. Like yeah, you can do Botox injections in your apocrine glands. But the thing is, it's going to sweat out somewhere. It's going to go to some other part of your body. The sweat's going to exit somewhere else. So it does solve the typical odor, musty odor that you're going to get from groin or underarms, but you're still going to sweat, you know? And
Yeah,
so there's something that's within the sweat that's just causing the smell. It's completely useless then to do
yeah,
Botox injections.
yeah. I was using something called Drysol.
Mm-hmm.
It like stops your sweating, but the problem with me was that where it began to sweat was from my hair. So
Ah.
my hair would start misting.
Mm. Yeah, I tried Drysol, certain dry. I know there's like uh tons of other like name brands, popular name brands where they have like a higher level of this some type of chemical that will make Carrie's here. Some type of chemical that'll make it harder for you to sweat because I think it blocks something within your apocrine glands that makes it harder for you to sweat.
Are you talking about
But
certain dry?
certain
Certain,
dry or products similar to that,
okay.
yeah. But I do will say it is 2 hours, and I usually end it around 2 hours. I appreciate everybody who joined. Before I end it, I do want to try to read if there's any type of comments or questions people ask. Read the final questions. Here's one. It's from Tony Straws. It says, "Is it even worth eating more clean, or doesn't reduce the smell either way?" Um, well, for me, eating cleaner does reduce the smell. I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
Yeah,
If anybody else
yeah,
wants to.
yeah. I would pitch in too. I think eating cleaner is great because it does reduce the smell somewhat, and also if you could like incorporate eating clean with exercising, I think that would have the best effect.
100%.
Also, he asks, "Is if our sweat is sticky?" I don't think my sweat's sticky. I think it's just regular sweat. I don't know if anybody else feels differently on this panel.
And I think his sweat could be sticky. I think it depends where you live and like the
Mhm.
humidity factor. Like I don't live in a very humid area, so it's not sticky. but he could live in somewhere that's very humid. So that's why his sweat could be sticky.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's just humidity. That's normal if you live in places like Texas and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have any comments, Carrie?
No.
All right. Well, other than that, before we go, uh, would it be okay if I dropped your emails just so if anybody wants to contact you?
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
First, I need to can you like send your emails to me in private chat or just regular chat so that I could copy them down? Private chat. Yeah. I'll put that book name here.
Thank
Did
you.
you get my chat?
All right.
And Sean, you said that you were going to get some tests done. I implore you to get that book, The Human Body Odor, by the two dermatologists. It was some really great information in there. And
Yeah,
that book is from 1992. It
yeah,
was
I
published.
might rent it. It's cheaper.
Okay. And check out my book too.
Yeah, I saw your book in the.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate everybody from joining and the people who stayed live just to comment. Other than that, all you have a good rest of your week.
You too.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.